Good morning. You know what day it is. It's not hump day. It's Monday. So you know what that means. Wherever you're watching this video from, just take a deep breath and just say it with me. It's a great day to be alive. The weekend is over. Whatever adversity you faced, whatever hurdles you faced this weekend, just put it behind you. Today, you're breathing. You have an opportunity that someone else doesn't have. Today you have the opportunity to make amends. Today you have the opportunity to do something to make a difference in a world of indifference. Today you have an opportunity to make sure that the people you care about most in your life know exactly how you feel. I'm often asked questions through my inbox on my Facebook page where you're watching or where you may be watching this video. And oftentimes I will directly respond to some of those questions, but today's question I just wanted to respond via video. And that question is, do I believe that the power of positive thinking really works? Here's my answer to that question. Absolutely it works. I don't believe that I would have many of the things that I have today. I don't believe I would be sitting in this nice office. I don't believe that a lot of the things that I've accomplished in my life are accidents. I would say 90% of them, maybe more than that, I visualized them first before they happened. I began to think about them before they came to pass. I'll never forget Mr. Lyles, the educator that helped me to turn my life around. He asked me one day in a prison cell, he said, "Mr. Humphrey, what do you want for yourself when you get out of here?" At the time, I was in solitary confinement, so I understood his question to mean, what do you want once you get out of solitary confinement? So I began to tell him. That's not what he meant. He was asking me, what do you want for yourself once you get out of prison? And at the time that he asked me that question, I had committed in my mind that I would die in someone's prison. See, my vision, Mr. Lyle's vision for me was larger at that time than the vision I had for myself. My vision did not extend past those barbed wire fences. My vision did not extend past those brick and mortar walls or that perimeter patrolled facility. But once I began to really think about his question, I got to tell you, here's what happened. This happened over a period of time. As I began to think about living a life outside of that prison, here's what happened. My heart rate would go up. I'd start smiling. My blood pressure would probably go up. I got excited. It was as though the things that I was envisioning in my mind were really happening. See what I'm saying? My mind didn't know the difference. If any of you have ever played the lotto, recently the lotto was over $1 billion. And I got to admit, I stood in line and I bought myself a ticket. And I sat in my truck afterwards and I stared at that ticket and I began to visualize the life that I would have, or all of the things that I would be able to do once I won that lotto. Now there's no secret, I didn't win the lotto. But as I was staring at that ticket, imagining what I would do, here's what happened. Just like in that prison cell, my heart rate went up. I got excited. It was as though in my mind, my body responded as though I had actually won the lotto. And here's where I'm going with this. Eventually, sitting in that prison cell, I wrote a list of things I wanted to accomplish in my life. And I would look at that list every single day. And every time I looked at that list, you know what would happen? I would get excited. My heart rate would go up. It was as though I had my body responded as though I were accomplishing those goals, or that I had the things written down on my piece of paper. Now that piece of paper became my lotto ticket. You see, the lottery, I have no control. It's a game of chance. We don't have any control over whether we win that game. But that list that I had on my prison wall, I was in full control over whether or not I accomplished those things or not. But it started with me imagining that they were possible. Here's what happens when you start to think about things. Your thoughts control your emotions. Your emotions control your actions, and your actions control your results. I was watching a comedy or a prank on YouTube not too long ago. And these college kids pretended they were playing a prank on their friend, pretending that he had won the lotto. But they bought a ticket based on the last week's or on an old lotto drawing. So when the lotto was about to be played, they called him in and he stood there and he was watching the numbers being read, and you could see him starting to get excited. In his mind, he had it was possible that he could win. After they read the last number, this dude was running all over the college dorm, and he's running, hugging and kissing his friends. He's rolling around on the floor with his dog, and he is celebrating. Then he realizes that his friends aren't really celebrating, and it dawns on him. He says, "Please tell me that this isn't a joke." And they break the news to him that it was a joke. Now here's my question for you. Did he really win the lotto? No. We all know that. But were his emotions, the emotions that he had because he believed he had won, were they real? Absolutely. The actions that he had, rolling around on the floor, of course they were real. When I looked at the list that I had on my prison wall, and I got excited, those emotions were based on something that I didn't have yet. They were based on something that I believed were possible. But the emotion that I experienced, that was definitely real. So your emotions lead to what? Lead to your actions. The more I thought about the things that I had on my list, the more that emotionally I became invested into having those things, my behavior changed, my actions changed. I began taking classes inside the prison. I began surrounding myself with individuals that had the goals of getting out of prison and staying out. My emotions controlled my actions. My actions, taking those classes, changing my behavior, changing my mindset, those actions changed my results. So do I believe in the power of positive thinking? Does the power of positive thinking absolutely, does it work? In my mind, absolutely. So begin to think about the things that you want to have in this life. Begin to think about the things that you want to accomplish for yourself this year, and keep that in mind. Your thoughts control your emotions control your actions control your results. If you find any value in this video, please like, please comment, definitely share. I'll see you next week.